the team of the Nigerian president that visited the UK had to pay some Nigerians to show up on the sideline to sing standing on their mandate. I think it's ridiculous. I know in one of our episodes, we talked about the fact that the people in the UK are so busy that it would not be in their interest to take time off of work and not get anything in return.
The money should have been better spent for the benefit of every Nigerian. Maybe put up infrastructure, maybe use it to create jobs, maybe use it to build facilities that will benefit everybody. But instead, they choose to give it to a selected few because they are singing their praises because of their sycophancy. I've always known, in fact, when I saw their video of dancing on the street of London and standing on the mandate, I knew something must have happened, something must have exchanged hands for them to abandon their, whatever they have going on, their jobs, their anything they have going on to just come out to stand on the mandate. Something must have happened. And lo and behold, somebody is leaking the information that they were paid to come out. It's unfortunate that that is happening.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Y&E podcast. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, share, and engage with us in the comment section. So we're talking about the news that broke out of the United Kingdom that the team of the Nigerian president that visited the UK had to pay some Nigerians to show up on the sideline to sing standing on their mandate. I think it's ridiculous. I know in one of our episodes, we talked about the fact that the people in the UK are so busy that it would not be in their interest to take time off of work and not get anything in return. So we briefly spoke about them getting paid. And it turns out that they were truly paid. Maybe like 99% of them were truly paid based on the video that's been going viral online about how the president's son and his team were sharing money for people that, stood by the roadsides to shout on your mandate for President Tinubu. I think this is a sad news. It's not a good thing at all because you would expect people out there to show the people in the UK that Nigeria is not as fun to live in. And on the other side, if the government is spending this much money to welcome the Nigerian president or make Nigerians stay on the side of the road to welcome him, don't you think the money would have been better spent on something else back home in Nigeria? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely the money should have been better spent for the benefit of every Nigerian. Maybe put up infrastructure, maybe use it to create jobs, maybe use it to build facilities that will benefit everybody. But instead, they choose to give it to a selected few because, they are singing their praises because of their sycophancy. I've always known, in fact, when I saw their video of dancing on the street of London and standing on the mandate, I knew that, something must have happened, something must have exchanged hand for them to, abandon their, whatever they have going on, their jobs, their anything they have going on to just come out to stand on the mandate. Something must have happened. And lo and behold, somebody is leaking the information that they were paid to come out. It's unfortunate that that is happening. Tinubu, I've always said it that I like him as a person, but I don't really like his kind of politics. He always look for a way to pay people off, and then you can go back in history, the history between him and Wicked, his history with El-Rufai, the way he paid off El-Rufai and convinced El-Rufai to stay in the country, to help him with his political campaign back in 2023. They are still paying people off, in the guise of sharing palliative, and meanwhile they are actively buying votes. It's unfortunate that these are politicians. I don't quite see any politician in Nigeria, maybe Kwankwaso, and a few of them that has organic support, but every other politician, I think their supports, their supporters are bought. So even Peter Obi, I'm almost certain that his support is not quite organic. It's based off of, something, but I don't really see him paying people, to line up in the street. But Tinubu, it's not surprising to me, but the only reason why it's surprising to me is because people that supposedly have seen the light, that are in a working country, are coming out to stand on the mandate. And like I said the other day, maybe Kestama should have put it in the as part of the deal to deport them so that they can properly go stand on the mandate.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I still think that PWB has a better grassroots movement than the other politicians in Nigeria. And we can see in the 2023 elections, right? A lot of people thought it wasn't gonna get that much vote, and he ended up getting a lot of votes. A lot of people were saying, "Hey, this is just a social media campaign that we'll see how many people showed up." Well, he won Lagos because he's the resident of the current president. So the president didn't even win in his own state. So Peter will be in the state because the people in larger cities, they see what's going on. A lot of them have access to internet. They can see everything bad that the APC government has done to the country. And they are offering solutions, offering different perspective on how to govern Nigeria. And one thing Peter will be campaign on is cutting the cost of governance. You would think that some of the things that the current administration copied from his campaign, they would have implemented, cutting cost of governance. But it looks like they're just adding and borrowing money and adding to the cost of governance. With hiring so much aides, hiring so much advisors. And at the end of the day, nothing has truly changed in the last 3 years. Insecurity is still there. The electricity issue is, piling up. And like you said, I'm not surprised that a lot of the people in the UK took that money and they showed up for him. In the UK, they're looking for a way to survive. So that £500 will take them maybe a couple days, less than a week, and they were back to their regular job. It's just heartbroken. That money could have been better spent somewhere else in Nigeria. But we know the administration is all about, uh, you know, pay them to get their votes or provide food for them to get a vote. They've weaponized poverty so much in Nigeria that whatever they give you, you gladly take it and vote for them. It's sad. It's truly, truly sad. And I hope that the Nigerian people can see better. A lot of people now, especially with the electricity issue, they're now changing to solar panel in order to provide their electricity because the electricity is not constant. And if you're now financially buoyant, you can't afford to run on diesel for 8 hours or for 12 hours. And for some businesses, maybe 18 to 24 hours. So that's a very high cost environment, especially if you have a business you're running with a generator. It's going to quickly add to your overhead. And I don't think the government is doing anything to kind of soften the blow of the ongoing war in Iran. I think Nigeria has benefited from it because the price of a barrel of oil has gone up significantly, but we don't know what's going to come out of it, right? We don't know how people are going to benefit for it. Is it going to be the same cabal enjoying the wealth of the country, or are they going to pass it down to the Nigerian people? But going back to the people in the UK accepting money in order to support the president, I'm sure there's some people that will find a way, people like Buala, people like the media aid, the presidential media aid, they'll find a way to say maybe, Sheyi Tinubu was using his own money or using the money, from their supporters to gain supporters for the president to make him feel welcome in the UK. But it is what it is. And hopefully Nigerians will know better and vote better for whoever they think will be the best candidate in the 2027 general elections.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. In fact, I'm just saying, if I was in the UK and I happen to be there, I'll probably take the money too. I mean, it's not his money, it's not their money, it's Nigerians' money. So if I can get it through infrastructure,
How do you know it's not their money? I mean, you don't have a proof to say it's not their money.
well, allegedly it's not their money. Allegedly, it's not their money. If I were there, I would probably take the money too because I'm not banded to vote for them. I don't live in Nigeria, and there is no diasporan voting, so I'll just gladly take the. In fact, it makes no sense not to take the money because you just cheating yourself and you just cheating yourself out. I would take the money. I'm not banded to vote for them, but collectively, I think if they invest it, I think it will probably be more beneficial to everybody. Though politicians are fond of that, they always instead of them doing things that will benefit the general population, they would rather give it to a selected few. A case in point, they gave almost the number is between 7 billion to 30 billion for city boys to do their rally. That is money that, I mean, that money conservatively, that money could have built at least 3 hospitals, not like an international standard hospital. I mean, but a very reasonable hospital that people could go to obtain treatment, and that money can confidently build it. But you know what? They gave it out to boys to go and drink, drink themselves to stupor, and then, ended up with a selected few. That is the problem with the government. With Tinubu in place, that is his style of politics. If you look at Lagos State, that is exactly what he did in Lagos State. And then I'm definitely afraid that he might end up being able to nominate somebody that will replace him after his, 8 years. Let's not kid ourselves. Tinubu is already going there for another 4 years. So at the end of his 8 years, let's just hope that he's not able to, to put somebody that will succeed him, because that will be suicidal for Nigerians.
Well, you can't bet against that. If you're gonna bet, say bet on it, because historically it's been the one choosing the governors, or allegedly choosing the governors in Lagos State. So I'm sure you probably want to run the same playbook and still continue to be the master strategist that they call him. Yeah, you find a way to choose who's going to be the next presidential candidate. And I'm sure people are lining up. That's why a lot of people are standing on his mandate, not because they believe in it, but because they know it's something for them after his own tenure. After his 8 years, they know there's going to be something for them. So they're aligning themselves, just getting themselves situated near the seat of power. So that way, when it's time, the names can come up, whether for ministerial appointment or advisor appointment or juicy appointment that will continue to put some money in their pocket. So, you will not be surprised that, the president might also increase the salary that he's going to get once he retires or once he finishes his 8 years. We've seen what happened, that a retired governor in Lagos is making the same money as a present governor. It's ridiculous. It's probably getting more benefit than the present governor. So benefit like that, I'm sure he will find a way to put it in place to continue to benefit himself and his family. It's just heartbreaking that this is what politics in Nigeria is all about.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not gonna say he won't do it. Try to increase whatever he will get after his presidency, but that will mean that he's really greedy, because come to think of it, he's drawing a retirement or whatever as a former governor. He's drawing money as a former senator, and his wife is drawing money as a former senator. And let's not kid ourselves, the wife is drawing money as a former first lady in Lagos. What would they do with all of that money? Tinubu, by no stretch, is no poor. I think he's well to do. Trying to influence how much he will be paid after his presidency, I think that would be, greed. Like I said, nothing, you can't put nothing past our politicians. Okowa did it in Delta State, a whole bunch of them did it. Oshamole did it in Edo State. They all influence what they will get, what they will get after their governorship. So I won't doubt it if tomorrow they say Tinubu is trying to do it. And with this crop of national assemblies that we'll have, Akpabio in his pocket with all his baggages that they are using to blackmail him. Akpabio, in fact, if Tinubu want to do third term, Akpabio will gladly canvass vote for him. I can put it past them. With Akpabio and Tinubu in the driver's seat, everything and anything is possible. So let us know what you think about the idea of them going to London to share money for people to stand on the mandate. But I think for myself, I think I really missed out. I wish I would have traveled to London to join them. Well, let us know what you think, and I will be glad to engage with you in the comment section.